So here is my WrestleMania 26 review. A tad late maybe, but still here it is. And what a night! I believe WrestleMania 26 was really good. They really got their revenge from WrestleMania 25, which was a good WrestleMania, but it did not live up to the WrestleMania hype, especially not the hype of being the 25th anniversary of a WrestleMania. But WrestleMania 26 did. I believe all in all, actually, I believe more or less every match was really good. You can of course speak of Shawn versus Morrison or Truth, short match, but not every match is supposed to be long. Not every match can live up to its full potential. Not every match can deliver enormously, because you have to have progression in the card. Some matches have to be short, and I believe Morrison versus or Truth versus Shawn, there wasn't really much invested in the match except the tag team championship. It was a decent match. As well, the triple threat match, Randy Orton versus Teddy DiBiase versus Cody Rhodes. People might complain that Randy Orton was in the card too early, but not every guy who is and has been a main eventer can be in the main event of WrestleMania. Someone has to go in that low card, and this year it was Randy Orton's turn. That's not the first time, that's not the last time a wrestler of a main event potential goes in one of the opening matches on a WrestleMania. Still making it to WrestleMania is pretty huge feat in my opinion. As I said, all in all, every match at WrestleMania was really good. Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon, I mean, we knew that wasn't really going to be an awesome match. We knew that going into it, and seeing it for what it was Bret Hart's revenge, and he really got it on Vince McMahon. I believe also the crowd was really good. They were hot into the match. So as I said, even the Divas match had a story told to it, and the way all matches unfolded, there was a battle in them, there was a story being told, the match meant something, and it was entertainment. I believe, as I said, the Divas match was entertaining as well. It was kept short and sweet, and Vicky Guerrero got a spot, but I still found it enjoyable. It didn't have that much backstage segments when you think back to it, and I think that's good. They focused more or less solely on the matches, and that's what they had to do with 10 matches on the WrestleMania card. That's a lot, and they actually made all the matches, made it to the WrestleMania card on pay-per-view. You had no dark matches. People speculated whether the tag match or the Divas match were going to be a dark match, but no match was a dark match. So maybe they could have a women's title match. Yeah, Beth Phoenix versus Michelle McCool, but still, it was okay. The Money in the Bank match was really good, way better than last year, and the way that, I don't know what you call it, going pogo sticks or something, when Kofi Kingston walked with his ladder out in the middle of the ring. I mean, how creative can you be? That was awesome. Lots of bumps in this match, real hazardous bumps, such as Matt Hardy going off the ladder, bump, and the ladder falls down, and he kind of slides on the ladder all the way down to the mat. It's gotta hurt. Lots of great bombs, and Jack Swagger won. That's astonishing, and I like that. It was a surprise, and they have built up Jack Swagger really good over the last couple of months. So that's to people who thought that Jack Swagger should have gotten a push instead of Sheamus. Now he's got a push. He's gonna have a title match this upcoming year, and he might not win the belt, but this is a serious push that he gets, so people cannot really complain. Not all might like it. Some people might think Christian should have gotten it. He might get a push one way or another. Drew McIntyre is in line for a push as well. I believe one of those two guys would win it. So Swagger was a real surprise, and considering that he said last week on Raw that if I win, I might cash in the main event later that night. That made you really expect, is he coming? I didn't think about it during Edge vs Jericho, but during Cena vs Batista, I thought maybe he's coming out. What if he comes out? So they kept that surprising element, that anticipation alive as well. Bret Hart versus things that I think they could have done a little different is perhaps Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon. I mean, yeah, he came out with the Hart family. They were allegedly siding with Vince McMahon first, then they went over to Vince, and it really didn't have the full effect of it. Vince McMahon delivered a severe beatdown to Vince McMahon, and I mean, that's mere retribution for what happened in 1997. This was Bret Hart making Vince McMahon look like a tool in the ring, making him look like a joke, making him look like a nobody, simply making a fool out of him. So that was a revenge for Bret Hart. And I mean, yeah, maybe they should have started the match, have all of the Hart's side with Vince, and then midway through the match they could go over to Bret Hart's side and then make full effect of it. But also I can see why they did this, because we all knew this is going to be one of those greatest matches between Vince and Bret, because Vince is, as Triple H says, at best Vince is limited in the ring, and Bret Hart is limited as well. So I mean, we know that Bret Hart can probably not take a shot to the head. I don't think he could bump that much either, due to the concussion he had, due to the stroke he had. That would be a real dangerous move for him, risking his health, risking his life, risking getting permanently injured, taking a shot to the head or a bump to the back. So I can see why they did it, and face it, we wanted Bret Hart back, we got Bret Hart back, we got Bret Hart on WrestleMania, he got his revenge on Vince McMahon. We could be happy with that as well. So they did what they could with that match, and we knew that wasn't going to be the showstopper, but still was good. The crowd was pretty much into it towards the end. They begged and asked for the sharpshooter, and finally they got it. So I think they did fair. And Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, I thought maybe they could have waited with the switch in. No. Well, no, I know really I didn't have that much to complain about when I think about it. It could have been that they could have waited with Undertaker's Hell's Gate till after a lot of the finishers, because you know that Undertaker, he's not going to win with Hell's Gate before Shawn Michaels has kicked out of the Tombstone, the Last Ride, or before Undertaker has kicked out to the Switching Musics. He's not going to win with the Hell's Gate. So that's perhaps they could have waited with Hell's Gate till later, and when Shawn Michaels countered that into some sort of a cradle, people would have been on the edge of the seats, because then they would have known that, well, he kicked out of the Last Ride, the Tombstone, the Switching Musics, maybe this is going to do it. Whatever happens from now on, the match could end with a submission, someone tapping, or with a fluke win. But I mean, I can't complain, because Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker was great. I really believe, if you noticed, when Edge versus Jericho started, it was a really good match, and I hope Jericho would win so much. When he failed winning with his first code breaker, I said to my friends that he's screwed, he's not going to win. There's no time he's going to hit a second code breaker, but he did. I even thought it was even more over for Jericho when Edge kicked out after getting hit with the title belt. So there's kudos to WWE, because I thought he was so screwed. But he came back and Jericho won, and he retained. That's just the third year in a row, third consecutive year that the winner of the Royal Rumble does not get a title at WrestleMania. So that's pretty unique, especially the way they hype it, that like 70-something% of the guys who win Royal Rumble go on to win the big one. So, well, unpredictable as well, and I was pretty sure that Edge was going to win this one, but he didn't. Cena versus... and the crowd wasn't that hot when that match started, but they really got into it. So I would like to contribute, the crowd was freaking hot during Cena versus Batista, and not to talk about Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Great crowd. I think thanks goes a lot to Edge and Jericho, because they built that up during their match. It was kind of low atmosphere during the start of that match. They really got the crowd going. Really. Great win there. Just have to mention Triple H, Sheamus, really good match as well. Sheamus really proved that he belongs in the top. Triple H surely helped him to look good, but he really proved that he belongs in the top, and he belongs at WrestleMania, and he's a bright future for sure. Still, it would have been a little too much to have Triple H actually put him over at WrestleMania. That would mean Sheamus, in less than 6 months after appearing on Raw, he would have been champion and pinned the main guy on the grandest stage. Couldn't see that happening. Cena versus Batista, not the greatest wrestler, but still they managed every time they wrestled to get the best out of each other. 100% better match than I expected it to be. Cena got his revenge. And finally, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, awesome match. Pure awesomeness. So this might be the match of the year again. Really great. It definitely lived up to the hype. They did not use the no disqualification, no count out that much, but it really didn't matter. I almost feared we had a bloodbath instead of a real wrestling match. This was awesome. And Shawn Michaels' farewell send-off there at the end. I really hoped that The Undertaker would win, and I also thought it would happen. I'm not a big of an HBK fan. He is a great wrestler and all that. But even I got a little bit emotional when he walked off up the ramp. and we know that this might be the last time we see Shawn Michaels. He might get a send-up on Raw or something, of course, so it's not literally the last time we see him like that, but maybe his last match. All in all, great WrestleMania. I can't remember a WrestleMania where all matches really were this good. That the matches all in all held that high of a standard that they did this year. A lot of WrestleMania moments, from Jerry Lawler saying, "I think Undertaker's leg is broken," from the hush silence going over when the Undertaker went, but then stopped before delivering his second tombstone. That was one hell of a tombstone. Just imagine the toll it took on his knees. One hell of a screwdriver tombstone. Great WrestleMania. Share your thoughts. Have a nice day.